SoundHound AI up 6% on the day. SoundHound here, I believe it will have another big run in the future. It has the revenues behind it. It's in a hot sector. It's going to be part of the AI revolution. And communication it's important, right? That's how, I mean, right now you're watching this video. I'm talking to you. You're listening to me. That's how we're going to communicate with these machines. We can't just be sending a text. That's too slow. Communication verbally is faster than sending a message or writing a letter. God forbid we go back to those times. Remember? Yeah, that's how old we are. You had to write a letter back then. Some of you probably have never written a letter or even know what a tube TV is or a cassette, quite frankly. Times have changed, and the reason I'm making these references to these older pieces of technology, because that's what they are, older pieces of technology, is we're living in a different time compared to back then. And I believe that in the future, if you're smart and you're thinking ahead and you've seen the pattern, the historical pattern is there's always going to be new technology, and the legacy solutions, they die off. And everyone adapts. Rinse and repeat. I bet you your grandma right now is on her phone. Okay, maybe not grandma, but your Gen X. Yeah, no, your grandma probably is on her phone now that I think about it. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah. Gen X is definitely on their phone. Like, it's you adapt or you just are, I guess, clueless, right? Think about that for a second. If you have not adapted to all this new technology, if you're not, using it, you're just living in la la land, right? Like, I want you to think about that for a second. If you go a whole year without looking at your phone, without looking at the internet, and only communicating with people via letters, I guess, you're going to have to go back to communicating. Like, if you want to hang out with a friend, you got to, write him a letter to his address and be like, hey, you want to hang out? Please reply via letter only because I don't have a phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of, yeah, well, first of all, it's very inefficient now. Obviously, back then, that's all they had. But number two, you would be absolutely, you don't know what's going on in the world at all unless someone tells you at that point through word of mouth. You would be so disconnected from reality at that point, if you think about it. But because we're all connected via the internet and we're always checking our phones, we know what's going on all the time. So the point I'm trying to make is this is the beginning of the AI revolution. There's going to be AI infrastructure, APLD. AI voice communication, SoundHound. The chips need to be bought by someone, from someone. Buy someone from someone. Wait, buy someone from someone? No, they need to be bought by someone and they buy it from NVIDIA. That's what I'm trying to say. Confused myself there with the buy and the from. So NVIDIA, that's another one. And of course, quantum stocks, Rigetti and IonQ. Robotics, AI, quantum right now, that's what's going to be hot and what's going to stay hot for a while. And by a while I mean decades. But yeah, this is, if you see the historical patterns, there's going to be a lot of new tech, and you either get with the times or you're going to die one day and your kids will get with the times. Either way, you can't stop it, right? Think about that. You cannot stop that. You can't. And I believe that in the future, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but in the future, I believe the people of the future will look back at us and think we were idiots. What? They would wake up and go to a job and drive? They would actually drive? Because in the future, everything's going to, the AI is going to take over. If people are still going anywhere, you're just going to get in the car and it's going to take you to where you want. You don't even have to drive. You physically won't even have to. You might not need licenses in the future at that point. I'm sure you'd have to pay some other fee so that the money's made there by the DMV or whatever the new version of that is going to be. I don't know. I can't think that far ahead yet. The adjustments that are going to need to be made by humanity. But at the end of the day, we have to communicate. We have to work alongside these AI. So I think the people of the future will look back at us and be like, damn, they had to actually drive. They turned a key. I don't think you even turn a key anymore, right? Some cars, you don't even have to turn a key. You just press a button. So, which sounds weird to think about it, but in the future, you'll just talk to your car and it'll open It'll recognize your voice and know it's you. It'll open up and you get in. And it'll probably auto apply the seatbelt, and you just tell it where you want to go and it goes. Like literally. You think I'm kidding? You know what? I could see, and this sounds stupid. I could see, because right now SoundHound did a study on humans, and it's their interaction with AI, their interaction with their car, and preferring the newer generations. They prefer to talk to their car and order that way. So if they're driving, they'd rather just tell their car, "Hey, I want to order McDonald's. What's the nearest McDonald's? Let me get a triple Big Mac, a triple Big Mac." So you're gonna get two Big Macs and then stack them, I guess. But you get the point. They did a study, and we're all gonna get old and we're gonna die in this new technology, whether you adapt to it or not. The newer generation is gonna adapt to it, and that's who that's who they care about. They don't care about Gen X or older. They're gonna die off soon. They care about the newer generations because those are the ones that are gonna adopt these new solutions. And people will be ordering through their car. They're going to be talking to their car and telling it, "I want this, thank you, I'll go pick it up." And I think in the future, far, far future, you'll just think about it and the order will go straight to McDonald's, and that's, I don't know if there even would be a McDonald's at that point. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting crazy, but I could see in the future you tell your car, "Hey, go pick up my McDonald's," and it just goes picks it up. Like it just drives up, and I guess a human, or maybe it's replaced by humans are going to be replaced by AI. I don't know, but let's just assume that one human is just there putting the food into the cars, and that's it. Like you don't even have to go anywhere. You just tell McDonald's, "Hey, I want this. My car is coming to pick it up." The person puts it in the car, puts the food in the car, and that's it. It drives back home to you, and you just go outside and take the food. I could see that. I mean, we already have autonomous vehicles. So what's to stop these autonomous vehicles from, they just drive on its own to McDonald's, they go to the drive-through, or they just sit at the curbside, and it automatically opens the window. The human puts in the food, it drives back on its own to where you live. And that way you don't risk dying on the way there or back from a car crash because someone was drunk or whatever. I know that sounds really ridiculous, but that's just something. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I am, but I don't think it doesn't matter. I believe that AI robotics is the future. AI, we have to communicate it with our voice. If you don't adapt to these new solutions, that's fine. You're going to die one day, and guess what? Your children, your next of kin, these younger generations will adapt to these new solutions. To them, it'll be normal. Oh, I just order my food by talking to the car or talking to my phone or whatever. And in the far, far future, it'll be normal to just think, "I want McDonald's. Here's my order. I'll send my car over to pick it up." I could see that with these brain interface chips. I could see that. As crazy as this sounds, I mean, back then it sounded crazy for Wilbur Wright to get on a vehicle and fly. And look where we are now. So technology has changed a lot of things. And I believe once the older generation dies off, these AI solutions, this new technology, it's just going to take off. It's going to take off. Because the new generation is just going to adapt it. And anyways, the old solutions are just going to look like garbage, right? Let's be real. Like, remember PlayStation 1 or Nintendo 64? The graphics look hilarious because they look like Legos. And look at the graphics now, right? So it's one of those things where you either adapt or you die, and guess what? Your next of kin, the younger generation, will adapt anyways. And people will look back and look at us like we were crazy. Like, wait, they would actually drive? Like, they actually had to get a license? They actually had to pull out a phone and put in an order? They didn't actually talk to their car and phone and their technology? Like, what? That's where we're headed. I think I've been rambling too long. This was just something that crossed my mind last night. I was like, this is SoundHound. I think in the future will be worth more than 100. It's going to take time, right? Palantir didn't go to 125 in days. It took it a year, a little over a year. So I think this is worth short term 25, long term 100 plus.